it's finally time to get rid of my old battery that I've had in Luna since we got her and finally upgrade to a LifePo 4 100 amp 1280 watt battery. Finally, I figure that winter's coming really quick and it's time to move forward with some stuff. What I really like about this thing, low temperature charging self-heating. So something about where it's got this mechanism inside it, like these little heat pads, where it won't allow it to charge according to the BMS when it's super low, so that way it protects the battery. But when it reaches a certain degree, of 41 degrees Fahrenheit, finally it'll allow the battery to charge, just to protect the mechanism. This thing's gonna be great. Let's hope it fits. Alright, a couple things about this battery. Yes, they sent it to me, and thank you so much for Vatrer sending me this battery. I really do appreciate it. It looks pretty cool. So we are going to try this thing, and we are just going to put this thing in Luna, and we are going to revisit this thing quite a few times because the app that comes with it is quite interesting. Shows you the discharge, the input when you're charging everything. It has 5,000 cycles in it. That's something like over 13 years of continuous charges and discharges daily. That's just crazy. Like, great. But first, before we install this thing, I need to take out the old one. Time for an upgrade. Here. Oh. Okay. Probably gonna see this guy quite a bit too. You ready? Go get it. Make sure you turn that off. And before I start with all this craziness, big shout out to Brute Force Explorer. He also has an Intech Luna. I believe, yes, he does have an Intech Luna Rover. And he does have a great tutorial on how to install this stuff. And for the Luna specifically, it needs a little switch in the circuit breaker system. You'll see. As many of you know, I do have my little underglow effect installed through here. It just comes up through that little hole in the bottom of the battery hole. The other thing is, this right here is the vent for the lead acid batteries that I think is required by law in RVs. However, with the lithium iron phosphate batteries, you don't need that. And if somebody knows otherwise, please tell me in the comments below. Alright, let's start with the sheer weight of this thing. This is an interstate battery that's SRM24. 48 pounds. 24 pounds. 81 amps. 100. And everyone should put a handle on their batteries. I just installed a tractor battery on an old Case, 1960 Case 530 tractor. No handle. Just put a handle on it. Oh, by the way, I am not an expert, but I am learning, and that's exciting. We have to deal with this. And thanks again to Brute Force Explorer for really kind of doing that tutorial. It's really helped a lot. Kind of inspired me to do this, along with the battery that Vatrer gave me. I need to take this little screw off, and then there's this tiny little toggle switch under here. Make sure that it moves it over from a solid state battery to the lithium iron phosphate battery. I do not see that switch. It's a model 4135. Oh, nothing's easy. Okay, after about 2 hours of research, I discovered that the 4135 Power Dynamics power converter thing is supposed to have a little toggle switch right there that says on or off for lithium ion phosphate. I don't have that damn switch. So I did plug in the battery and, you know, things turn on. Things turn on. But I don't know if I'm gonna blow something up. For Christ's sake, nothing's easy. So what I did is I plugged in the battery and then I turned everything on. Everything works because it's just a 12-volt battery ultimately. But I also plugged it in to charge the battery, and the battery is charging at something like 40 watts from the house. But my worry is the power dynamics converter thingy, whatever that thing is, the panel, is it compatible with this? But I also feel like the battery management system, the BMS in this thing, is going to protect it anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like I said, that Power Dynamics 4135 panel, I know this is verbal diarrhea, the 4135 panel from Power Dynamics, it didn't have the switch. And I can show you. So that switch is supposed to be located right there. So my initial idea with this battery, which is to basically install it, flip that switch, which I thought was going to be very easy. I assumed that things would be easy, and they're not. I was going to look at Luna, turn on certain lights, see what the draw is and what the wattage is coming out of that, and start to do some calculations and figure some stuff out, like what's the total draw of everything on with Luna. And I think we're going to get there. So what I'm going to continue to do is monitor this battery on the included app, or just download the app. That app is pretty sweet. It's easy to use. It immediately connects it via Bluetooth. But I think with the 100 amp BMS and my situation, I'm just going to continue to monitor. And of course, please comment. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm getting there. Maybe, probably not. But with the 100 amp BMS, it's going to protect me from overcharges and discharges. It's also going to protect me from overcurrent and short circuit protection. And it's going to also protect me from low and high temperature spikes. It's got 100 amp continuous discharge and high discharge and high charge capacity.